this is what an American thinks about Tucson, Arizona. I lived in Tucson from like November of 2010 to like March of 2011. I was there for like 4 months. I originally went down there because I wanted a mountain bike, but then my mountain bike broke. It was in the shop for like 3 months, and then all of a sudden I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I don't want a bike. I need to work on my timeline. So I started working on my timeline. But I was biking there for a couple days. There's some pretty good mountain biking. It's through those really big cactuses, and there's like lots of trails just in the east side of town. But only problem was, every time I went on a bike ride, I'd get like 6 flats. So it's actually not a good place to mountain bike because you're just going to get more flats than you can deal with, and it'll freak you out. Unless you've got a really good system together, or you have those like fix-a-flat thing, Insta things, and you just can redo those all the time, or you have money to have other people do it for you. I don't know, but the road riding would be really good there. And it does have a really big road riding culture. I was an idiot and I never rode up to the top of the mountain, but there's this mountain there. Tucson is like right next to Mexico, and it's like low of elevation. So all winter long, it was like t-shirt and shorts weather all winter long. That's why I was there. But there's this mountain that's right next to it that's like 9,500 feet, 9,700 feet, and there's a big ass ski resort up there. It's like the southernmost ski resort. I'm at the northernmost ski resort of America now, and that's the southernmost ski resort of America. Oh shit, I gotta plug this thing up. Battery's gonna die. And but I was hanging out at this coffee shop, you know, on the northeast edge of Tucson. It was like the affluent part of town, and that's where I was kind of had home base, camping in my car and working at the library. And there was this coffee shop, and that's where all the bikers would hang out before they'd ride up the hill. And yeah, every day, and especially Sundays, there'd be huge groups of bikers there. And I should have gone up it. When I first got there, and I was still in pretty good biking shape, I rode up because I saw results of a time trial. Then I went up there, and I was like, I got my ass kicked, dude, by like the girls. All the girls in the time trial could do it like 20% faster than me. But yeah, I'm just not that good of a climber anymore, man. I'm too heavy. I rode my bike through Europe for 5 months, and I only lost 15 pounds. At the end of the bike tour, I was 176 pounds with a fucking beer belly. So I want to do another tour across Siberia, like with them, and just ride on dirt roads and like just ride zigzag and like get down to like 155 pounds. That's how much I weighed in high school. If I could get down to 155 pounds, dude, that's when I'm gonna fuck it. I want to show up to like mountain bike races, kick ass. But that'd take a long time, dude. But that's another story. I got totally sidetracked. But I didn't do that. I was just hanging out in Tucson all day long. Well, actually all night long. I was being really nocturnal. And nocturnal's not really the way to go for me. It's better to be out during the day, soak up that sun. But Tucson, people are friendly in Tucson. It's got a good energy to it. And I like those saguaro cactuses, these huge cactuses, like 30-foot high cactuses, as big as trees, with the big thorns. And they're all over the town because they planted them there back in the day. And also they have the national park right next door, which has them everywhere. So it's really pretty. Yeah, good energy. You know, lots of good progressive people there. Although the radio, they were playing these 3 dudes all the time on the radio. These neocon retards. Michael Savage, is this like Jewish neocon dude. He's crazy. One day I turned on the radio and he was like, yeah, marijuana needs to be legal. He was talking to somebody. He's like, do you know how many chemicals? Because I'm a trained chemist. You know how many chemicals are in marijuana? Tetra this, tetra that, hydro this. See? So that I was like, what an idiot, dude. There's chemicals in everything, man. Those are natural chemicals, dude. And that just because there's chemicals in marijuana, you need to fucking throw people in jail for it? Spend 20% of our budget? I mean, that's a defense. $40 billion a year on the war on drugs. And then there's this other lady named Laura Ingrams, I think her name is. This neocon lady. I think that's her name. I hope I'm not mixing her up with another lady, but this neocon chick. And I actually researched a little bit. She went to Dartmouth. So I guess, and I thought that was an Ivy League school. So I guess people who graduate from Ivy League schools and become popular radio hosts are fucking morons. Because she was like neocon, and I remember she was talking to somebody freaking out about how like Muslim is a religion of like murderers and stuff. It's an evil religion. And then like once, like I guess Obama said a joke about Justin Bieber, like getting how he could beat Justin Bieber at like basketball because Justin Bieber's only 5'5", and he's just joking. But she was like, "What an asshole! Oh my God, no respect." And it's like, oh my God. Then there's this other dude with this really whiny talk. He talks like this. I can't remember his name though, but he's totally nuts too. Like really angry. Thinks he's all smart because he throws out percentage points about like the economy. Yeah, dude. And that seemed like all they had. So maybe there's this really big like neocon element there because there's lots of Mexicans, tons of Mexicans there, and I think they're feeling like they're getting overrun by the Mexicans. So they're trying to having to try to like fight back and close the borders and stuff. But I didn't feel any like bad vibes between Mexicans and Americans. There are lots of well, there are a lot of like grumpy looking Mexicans working at Mexican restaurants there, fast food Mexican restaurants who don't speak English. But anyways, there is I was in the affluent neighborhood, and I was parked out in front of a house. Well, I was in this big, it was like right at the base of the mountain. It was like, I was like 100 meters from the house. But like once the cop woke me up and he's like, the neighbors are complaining about you, but you're legal to be here, so I can't do anything. So I was like, all right, whatever. And then like the next day, another cop comes up and he's like, yeah, the neighbors complaining about you. Maybe you should just move just to make them happy. So I was like, all right, whatever. And I think that cop's like, yeah, they're really freaked out because this has the #1 highest burglary rate in America. So I guess the Mexicans who come over have been burglarizing people's houses. And then I was camping out in the parking lot of the library. And somebody put a note in my car and said you couldn't do it. So then I went because the cop station was right there. And the cop's like, oh, I used to live in my van. Well, did they say who they were? And I was like, no. And they're like, oh, don't worry about it. So I stayed there another couple of days. And then this other cop came up and he was being all grumpy. He's like, what you doing camping out here? It's illegal. Right in front of the cop station too. And I was like, I don't know, I'll just go out there, but they called the cops on me. And he's like, oh yeah. And he told me, because this has the highest burglary rate in America, this county. And when I was on the cop station, I was looking around and they were having all these like pamphlets, like how to avoid getting your car jacked. And I was like, oh my God. So maybe there is a lot of crime down there. I did have a weird altercation with a girl actually I had 2 weird experiences with women there. The first was like the first week I was there. I was suiting up on my biking. I was about to go ride to the top of the mountain. And I never did ride to the top. But it was like, sun's about to go down. And I ended up trying to go up that night. At like 9 I left. But I had to stop like 2/3 of the way up. Dude, this mountain goes from like, it's from like 2,000 feet or however long, how high that town is, to 9,000 feet. It's like a huge climb. And like it was totally hot in the town when I was there, but then when I was up on top of the mountain, it was freezing at night. So like in the summertime, I bet, in the wintertime when it's like summer down there, you could go skiing all day up there. And then in the summertime, when it's hot as fuck down there, like 120 degrees, you go up there and it's like totally brisky. It's like really cool. There's like oasis there. But anyways, this like Hispanic looking lady, he's like, can I borrow your pen? Drives up to next to me. Can I borrow your pen? I was like, sure. And then I was just about to leave. And like, I get surrounded by all these cops, like 2, 3 cop cars, like 4 cops. They're like, somebody mentioned that you like stole her purse. And I was like, she's like, can we search your car? So they searched my car for like a half hour. They cuffed me, put me in the cop car. And they're like, okay, I don't think it was you. And I was like, it's her, isn't it? He's like, who is it? It's like, I can't tell you. It was like her. It's her, isn't it? And yeah, well, he didn't say it wasn't, so I knew what it was. But then like a couple weeks later, I was in the Starbucks and she comes up to me and she's like, I'm so sorry that I did that. I feel really bad. I embarrassed you. I was like, don't worry about it. I was like, well, did they find the dudes? Because the cops told me that somebody had reports of a black dudes buying stuff with credit cards. And she's like, well, I thought maybe it was this other guy, but they didn't trust me anymore to know who it was. So they didn't let me like bust people. But anyways, then there's this other weird altercation. I was in this movie theater, and I was the only person in the movie theater. And I had my little laptop with me because I was transferring files, which takes for fucking ever. I think I was transferring, like pasting video together or something. And this lady, I know, and I'm watching the movie, and I was literally the only person in the movie theater in the front row. And there's this girl standing in the doorway, and I was like, she was like, and I look back, and she was standing in the other doorway. I was like, is she staring at me? Next thing I know, she comes up, she's like, you turn that off. I was like, but I'm the only one in here. It's like, do turn it off, you have to turn that off now. And I'm like, I'm just transferring files. I'm not even using it, I'm just holding it. If I turn it off, I can't do the files. And she's like, you have 5 minutes. And she turns off. I was like, Jesus, dude. Oh, and she asked me like twice what I was doing. So anyways, so I guess they're kind of smart, kind of nice, but they're not that smart, and there's like crime problems there. But I like the energy there. It's a really big town. Yeah. Ooh, cool. I got all that done in 10 minutes. Yeah, so I liked Tucson. The library there was cool. Oh, yeah. I was in the library, and I could only be on the library for like an hour at a time, so I'd have to go back and ask the ladies to extend me. And like some of them would like give me the dirty looks. And this one lady kept going, how long have you been here? How much longer are you going to be here? Like trying to give me a hard time. But a couple of the other ones were cool. But I liked that library. That was back when I only had my little computer, so I had to use the public computer to do the work. The people in the coffee shop where I hung out with had beers and stuff, and they were really friendly. They're really nice. Yeah, but anyways, overall I like Tucson. It's got like, people don't have yards there. It's kind of like dirt, grass, and gravel, and dirt and stuff. And well, there's this one dude at the bike shop who like I was talking to. He actually subscribed to me on YouTube, and I subscribed to him. Can't remember his name, but he remembered my name after like 3 months of not being there. He made this, like, he was a mechanic for this 24-hour race that was there. Yeah, there's a 24-hour mountain bike race right outside of Tucson. I don't know how the hell that works, dude. I mean, how many freaking times did those motherfuckers have to change their flats, you know? I hope they chose a place where there's no cactuses. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I think about Tucson.